Halloween season is here. I am so excited. So today I am making the cutest floating ghost and pumpkin cake. This one turned out adorable. Let's get started. For the ghost, I have baked 2 8-inch round cakes and 1 half sphere. And for the pumpkin, I baked 2 cakes in a Bundt pan. To prepare the ghost cakes, I'm doing my usual leveling by cutting the top off, and then I'm torting the cake layers. The ghost cakes were slightly too big, so I stacked them up and I trimmed them down, mainly just so I could better visualize what they will look like. I didn't do much to prepare the pumpkin cakes because I liked it as is, but I did fill the hole with the scraps from the vanilla cake. If you have enough batter left over when you're baking, you could also make 1 extra cupcake, and then at this part you could just pop that cupcake right in that little hole, or just leave the hole empty, whatever works for you. Next, I'm piping a buttercream dam, and then I'm filling it with cream cheese frosting. And once it has been filled, wrap it up and put it into the refrigerator to chill. Now that the cake is cold, I'm going to carve deeper indentations into the cake to make it look more pumpkin-like. Some Bundt pans are different, so you may not need to do this. I was pretty happy with the shape of the cake at this point, so next I'm covering it completely in buttercream frosting. Since this cake is rounded, you're going to need a very inexpensive tool to smooth it out. It's just a piece of plastic, and you can get this on Amazon. It's called a flexible plastic smoother. So what I like about it is that you can just hold it up against the cake and you can kind of curve it and bend it and get it really, really smooth. You can also smooth it out with a hot offset spatula. Let's cover the pumpkin in fondant. I picked fondant this time, but you could also use modeling chocolate. So I just rolled out the fondant and I draped it over the cake, and then I used the palms of my hands to smooth it out the best that I could. There was a little bit of tearing, but that's okay, it just happens sometimes. To add some shading, I'm airbrushing it with a darker shade of orange, mainly in those indentations I made earlier. Okay, my pumpkin cake is nearly finished, so let's move it over onto the board. And since I made a hole in the cake board, I can easily lower the cake down. And I almost forgot, I added some melted candy melts really quick to stick the cake to the board. Next, I'm layering up my cake and buttercream frosting. And this time I decided to flavor it with 1 cup of marshmallow fluff, which I thought was really good. You could barely taste it, but it was still good. It's just always fun to experiment with flavors. I didn't want the ghost to be too chunky, so I'm cutting away some of the cake to thin it out just a little bit. And I also carved it so that one side is extending, and that part will become her tail. We need to make a batch of Rice Krispie treats. I don't usually use a recipe for this. I just melt some marshmallows in the microwave, and then I mix in some Rice Krispie cereal. So we're going to use the Rice Krispies to stick up underneath the ghost to form that rounded bottom section under the ghost. And don't forget to spray your hands with cooking spray before you start working with the Rice Krispies. To get the Rice Krispies to stick, you will need to use melted marshmallows. Now that I'm happy with the shape of the ghost, I'm covering it in white chocolate ganache, and then I work on it a little while, getting it beautiful and smooth. The next step is covering the cake. I picked modeling chocolate for this specifically because I need to blend the seams, and fondant doesn't blend very well. So I covered the back with a sheet of modeling chocolate, and I trimmed it down the side using my X-Acto knife, and then I covered the front and I trimmed it along that same seam. And then I tried to blend those 2 edges together the best I could. I wanted to extend the tail a bit, so I stuck a lollipop stick into the cake, and then I added more modeling chocolate. The chocolate was really warm at that point, which was good for blending the seams, but it took me a while to get it to hold its shape into that perfect tail shape. The cute faces are up next, so I'm cutting out the eyes and mouths out of fondant, and then I stick them onto the cake with shortening. I really love these cute faces. I also dusted the faces with a little bit of pink food color powder. To finish off the ghost, I'm adding some modeling chocolate arms, and I'm tucking in a candy cookie to look like she is trick-or-treating. The last detail is to fill the pumpkin. I filled mine with candy corn and candy decorated cookies, And if you want to see me making these cookies, go check out my YouTube shorts. The main thing you want to do here is cover the exposed threaded rod so that it looks like the ghost is floating. My cute Halloween cake is complete. I really love how this one turned out. It looks so cute, and it looks like the ghost is stealing candy out of the pumpkin. Thank you all for watching. I hope all of you have a spooky and fun Halloween season. I might be making another Halloween cake, so if anyone has any ideas for me, please let me know in the comment section. All right, I'll see everybody next time. Bye.